All right, we'll get started here soon. About 6 minutes.
Hi.
I do apologize for the outside noise you're hearing, or you may be hearing. I have a neighbor who likes to play his music very loud during the day. So,
Me too.
yeah.
Sounds like me with my TV.
And not lucky. I blast my music on my headset.
Yeah, this one's blasting it on the driveway as loud as human possible.
Oh yeah.
If I'm alone,
I
I
have one of
blast
those.
everything.
My neighbors, they blast it in at night and I can't even sleep. I'm just
Oh,
like, dude, go to bed.
You must feel relieved when he stops.
Definitely.
I don't have a neighbor like that. All my neighbors are nice.
What
Same.
happened? I just joined.
We're just chatting. We're gonna start in 5 minutes.
All right.
Have not missed any lesson.
Yet.
Ugh. I want it to be the weekend.
Yes, it is
Me too.
Friday. What do you guys have planned for the weekend?
I think my sister has her homecoming.
Oh, nice. You know, let's get louder. Tomorrow they have the Lake Bonnet Springs Park grand opening. You know, that one in Lakeland that's supposed to be really large with the, eventually it's supposed to have like kayaking and paddle boats, like the swan boats.
Really?
Yeah, but they're not doing that. They're not having those two things available Saturday because I guess the crowds. But yeah, it does sound like fun. You could rent the boats.
My soon-to-be sister's husband, he would be totally into that. He's into archery, rifles, anything that's hands-on, he's on it.
Well, they have
He loves the outdoors.
they have like 3 different stages, so they're going to have 2 different bands, and then they have an animal stage where they're going to have animal shows and all that. So it's
Animals.
Food.
gonna be fun. Yes, and food trucks. Yeah.
Not all animals are food.
I know that. But when I look at a goat, all I see is dinner.
Ugh. Ugh.
You won't, if we were in survival mode, you won't last too long.
I
Yeah,
should
they
probably
have
play
this big
Minecraft on survival mode.
Yeah.
I will overpass
Steak
both of
taste
y'all.
okay?
I will overpass both of y'all if y'all 2v1 me in Minecraft. I don't care. I'll surpass both of you.
Oh, too much Minecraft. Yeah.
I love
But
Minecraft.
reality isn't a game.
It
But
technically
no,
is reality though.
No, bro,
Except it's made out of blocks.
Wait, what does goat even taste like again?
I don't
It
know.
almost
What?
tastes like chicken if you
It's
cook it
like
right.
chicken.
It actually does. Yeah, it does.
My dad tricked me into eating alligator once.
Oh,
Yeah. I've
I
had
actually liked
alligator.
it.
It's kind of chewy.
How did it taste?
it was so chewy. I'm just like,
It
are you
tastes
sure
like
this is
chicken.
meat?
It don't taste like
Oh.
chicken. If you have frogs like
Rosella, you look so disturbed.
Yeah, she does. He's like, what the heck is happening right now?
What?
okay, 2 more minutes.
No.
We were talking about Rosella. She's just over here like, what is happening when she first got it?
Bro,
Are you guys
I
gonna
heard
go
everyone talking about
trick-or-treating on
Minecraft when I came in. I was like, what?
By the way, me and Jenny go way back. So
Oh,
Yeah, don't worry about it.
we're like talking mutually like this.
so are you guys?
Although
gonna
I think
go
Annika has a
trick-or-treating on
cousin
Halloween?
with me for whatever reason.
Who's gonna go trick or treating on Halloween?
Not
I'm
me.
staying in the house. It's too
Well,
cold.
Well, I usually go
that's
trick or treating, but I'm gonna help my mom with this trunk or treat at the mall, so it brings in customers for sales, so
Awesome.
an orphanage can get some money.
Oh yeah.
So
Well, we are taking the grandkids trick or treating, so that should be fun.
Yeah, that's what me and my grandma are gonna do trick or treating because the day before, I think when's Halloween, the 30th or the 31st?
31st, always the 31st.
Oh, okay,
I
because
don't know
then
if we're gonna go trick or
And
do
it's
treat.
a
it.
school night, so it doesn't make it easy. So,
I'm
yeah.
not down. I want to attend school
Why
that
don't
day.
we have the day off on Halloween? That doesn't make sense.
For real.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
well,
even, we
it
don't even
is.
celebrate Halloween, but I need the day off.
For real.
Because it's at
Yeah.
nighttime, not during the day.
Like I don't even
Well,
celebrate Halloween, but I would at least want the day off. Like, come on now.
for real.
All
Please.
right, I'm gonna mute everybody and we're gonna go ahead and get
No.
started on our lesson. So, sorry. Okay. Then try to mute you. Okay, so now if you have a question about anything, just chat, type a chat in the chat box and until I tell you to unmute or something else. Okay, yeah, Caleb, my two of my daughters are doing that. All right, let's go to lessons. So we're doing two lessons, 2.00 and 2.01. Lesson 2.00 is very short. And we're learning more about Spanish-speaking countries, a little bit of information about each of those countries. We're learning about just different things. And then, of course, okay. So the first country we're learning about is Honduras. The nationality is Hondureño or Hondureña, and the capital is Tegucigalpa. Their type of money is Lempira, and it's so it's named for the Cacique Lempira, which is Captain Lempira, who was an Indian chief. Okay, let's try this. There's some important information. It says at least once a year in the city of Yoro, it rains fish. It's very strange. This sometimes happens when fish get sucked into water spouts and then fall to the ground as rain. These strong storms are due to drastic climate changes. Now we get water spouts off the coast of Florida quite often, and I've never heard of that happening in Florida, so it is kind of strange. The hieroglyphic stairway in the Copan National Park has the longest Mayan hieroglyphic containing 2,200 glyphs. This stairway is part of a temple that was constructed by the 15th governor of Copan. And then the Tagua Cave is also known as the Cave of the Glowing Skulls. That sounds scary. This cave was located in an area where Mayans live. It has 100 to 200 individuals entombed there, and none are Mayans, according to archaeologists. So I'm assuming maybe there were sacrifices from neighboring villages. The Mayans were actually kind of aggressive. Years ago, when I was in high school or middle school, I always thought Mayans were supposed to be the good people, but actually it turns out the Mayans were kind of aggressive and they would go and capture people from neighboring tribes and sacrifice them. Okay. Nicaragua, the capital is Managua. The nationality is Nicaragüense, and the money they use is called Cordoba. The streets of the capital, Managua, don't have the type of addresses we're accustomed to, because in 1972, an earthquake destroyed the city, including all the avenues and streets. To get around Managuas, used to identify locals, the Managuas, the people there, use references to trees in even stores. So like, hey, I'm going to the oak tree over there. That's it. In Nicaragua, some bull sharks swim through the San Jose River and up to the Cusiboca Lake. This has occurred in other places too, such as Venezuela, the Amazon River, and even in the Mississippi River. So don't assume that rivers don't have sharks, because they do. And Hawaii, I went to Hawaii many years ago. They also had a river there where sharks would swim. So you're never completely shark free. The island of Ometepe has two volcanoes. El Volcán Concepción is active and located in the northern part of the island, and El Volcán Maderas is inactive and located in the southern part of the island. Ometepe is also known as the Spiral and Circle Island because of its petroglyphs. Interesting stuff. Costa Rica, the capital is San Jose. The nationality is Costarricense, and the money that they use is called Colón Costarricense. They might just say Colón. Okay, so information. Pura vida. It says instead of saying hola or adios, ticos and ticas, that's the Costa Ricans, use this expression, pura vida, as a greeting and to express gratitude or satisfaction. It means pure life and is used to symbolize Costa Ricans' laid-back lifestyle. Interesting. Costa Rica is known for its biodiverse beauty and its female president elected in 2010. And also this country's been, although this country's been without any armed forces since 1949, they do have police as well as a very low crime rate, which is kind of amazing because a lot of Central American countries have very high crime rates, but this country, Costa Rica, supposedly does not. El Bosque Nuboso de Monteverde is a spectacular forest known for having an abundant number of species. Imagine walking on the suspended bridge and seeing the quetzal bird, the monkeys, or thousands of butterflies all at the same time. So that would be cool. Something that I've heard is that Costa Rica has lots of monkeys. I myself, I don't know, I have this thing about monkeys. They just seem really gross to me. But that's for me, that's a no for Costa Rica. All right, so there's no quiz for the 2.00 lesson. It just prepares us for 2.01. So in lesson 2.01, we're going to learn about school and classroom supplies, identifying vocab about school and classroom supplies again, conversations, descriptions, using the verb ir to talk about like going somewhere, school and classes, and compare, sorry, my cat's in the way of the screen. Comparing school systems in Spanish-speaking countries with our own. That last one is important because when you do your BBA for Module 2, we are going to talk about school systems. And that was the Florida State Standards. Okay, let's go over some vocab. We've got la escuela, the school. La escuela es grande, the school is big. Yo voy a, which means I'm going to. Yo voy a la escuela, I'm going to the school. El maestro, the teacher, which is a man teacher, and la maestra, the female teacher. Okay, el maestro es alto, the teacher is tall. El salón de clases is the classroom, el salón de clases. Usted va al salón de clases. You're going to the classroom. El director or la directora, director is a man who's a director. La directora will be a female director. Tú estás con el director, you're with the director. You know, whenever we have vocab here on the screen, it wouldn't hurt you to take a screenshot of that because, you know, then you would be able to maybe hold on to those words a little bit more when we do our practices. Everybody taking a screenshot who needs to take one? My cat is chasing the mouse on the computer, so you can't see her, but she's definitely getting in trouble. Okay, so now we are going to do some practice here. Okay, I will say that the thing we want is not the oxen here, okay? It's behind the oxen. So which word will we use? La escuela, yo voy, la maestra, el salón de clase, or el director. Right, la escuela, it says right there, it's kind of small, but it says, okay. Here's another one. Is this el salón de clase, la maestra, la escuela, el director, or yo voy? Yes, it's the first one, el salón de clase. All right, so which one of these is represented in the picture? La escuela, yo voy, el salón de clase, el director, or la maestra? There's 5 options here. Xavier, did you have a question? Miss Valeria and Rosella picked it. La maestra. All right. Who is this guy? Is he el salón de clase? Yo voy. La escuela, el director o la maestra? He's el director. He's the director, which is like a principal, basically. All right. What about this one? Should we use el director? Yo voy. La escuela, la maestra, or el salón de clase? Yo voy, right? I'm going. All right, we have some other words here that are used in other countries. We've got la escuela, school is used all over the place, but sometimes they call it el instituto or el colegio. Spain is where they say el instituto. El maestro o la maestra for teachers used all over, but also people say el profesor or la profesora. El salón de clase is used internationally, but also la sala de clase. Notice that el salón, el is masculine, but la sala is feminine. And some people say el aula, which is another word for class. Okay. So more vocab here. Again, you may want to do a screenshot to be able to memorize these better. La clase de inglés. Now we're going on with class subjects. Notice we don't say English class. We don't say inglés clase. We say the class of, la clase de inglés. Yo voy a la clase de inglés. I'm going to English class. La clase de matemáticas, math class. Matemáticas has an S on it. Remember that because it is a plural word. Tú vas a la clase de matemáticas. You're going to math class. La clase de ciencias, science class. Tú tienes la clase de ciencias. You have science class. La clase de educación física. To eat. Tengo la clase de educación física. I have to eat. For my TV screen. Okay. La clase de estudios sociales. Social studies class. Usted va a la clase de estudios sociales. Okay, we're using form of year. We've got voy, I go, vas, you go, va, usted goes, you know, it's formal, or he or she, él or ella, va. Now, let's see. We have some cognates here at the bottom that don't need to change to a different word for Spanish. El álgebra, which is algebra, el cálculo, calculus, and the geometry. You guys have any questions on these vocab words? Let's talk a little bit about verb ear. Okay, so when we're using the verb ear, we want to use a to say to. Ear means to go, but we have the yo form or whatever form we're using. So yo voy, I'm going a. Voy a la clase de cálculo. I go to calculus class. Tú vas a la clase de álgebra. You go to algebra class. Usted va a la clase de geometría. You're going to geometry class. So we always need this. It's a personal a, but it's also, in this case, it means like to. Okay, because year means to go, the a means to go to. Okay. You can't see her because she's below the camera, but she's a peanut. And then you know what? There she is. Jumping on everything. Okay. We wanted to be on camera. All right. So now here we have like a little icon that's supposed to tell you what class this is. Okay. So is it mi amigo va a la clase de educación física? Es la clase de ciencias. Yo voy a la clase de inglés. Tú vas a la clase de álgebra. Usted va a la clase de estudios sociales. It's the second one. Es la clase de ciencias. It's a science class. Here's another one. Look at the item in the picture. Mi amigo va a la clase de educación física. Yo voy a la clase de inglés. Es la clase de ciencias. Tú vas a la clase de álgebra. Usted va a la clase de estudios sociales. Chloe has the answer. Yes, it's all about algebra class. Okay, look at the icon. Yo voy a la clase de inglés. Es la clase de ciencias. Usted va a la clase de estudios sociales. Mi amigo va a la clase de educación física. Tú vas a la clase de álgebra. And yes, estudios sociales, the third one is the answer, right? All right, here we've got basketball and weights. Usted va a la clase de, I'm not gonna read all these. You guys just tell me 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Right now, this stuff. All right. Which one is it? 3, right. Educación física, because that is PE in Spanish. All right, now look at this one. Looks like a book and looks like a quill and ink. All right, which one would this be? Inglés, the 5th one. Yo voy a la clase de inglés, right? All right, now we're going to talk a little bit about the items you need when you go to school. So we've got el lápiz is the pencil. Yo tengo un lápiz. I have a pencil. Now, lápiz has an accent on an A. If you want to talk about pencils plural, you would change the Z to a C and be CES, I mean lápices. El bolígrafo, the pen. Yo tengo un bolígrafo. I have a pen. This has an accent here. La mochila, the backpack. Yo tengo una mochila. Okay. Yo tengo una mochila, I have a backpack. El libro, the book. Usted tiene un libro en la clase de español. You have a book in Spanish class. Now, el libro is the book. Un libro is a book. El cuaderno, the notebook. Usted tiene un cuaderno. You have a notebook. La regla, the ruler. Tú tienes la regla, la clase de matemáticas. You have a ruler in math class. Now we have some cognates here. We've got la calculadora as a calculator. It's a true cognate. El crayón is a crayon. It's a true cognate. Here's a false cognate. La carpeta looks like carpet, but it's like a, it's not a folder. It is like one of those with a little bag, you know, for holding your school stuff. With a briefcase. All right, so here's some other words. We've got, you know, bolígrafo is a pen, but some people say la pluma. And that dates back to like a feather pen. El cuaderno is a notebook. Some people say la libreta. El crayón is a crayon, but other people say la crayola, okay, which is like the name brand crayons. All right, any questions on these? Okay, we're gonna practice with some practice questions that could end up on your quiz. All right, these are all multiple choice. ¿A dónde vas? Where are you going to? Tú tienes la clase de inglés. Yo tengo la clase de inglés. Yo voy a la clase de inglés. Usted va a la clase de inglés. Which one of these would be the correct answer? C, right. If someone asks you using the to form of the verb about something, you're going to answer with the yo form of the verb. Yo voy. ¿Quién es blank de inglés en la escuela? Who is something of English in the school? Una carpeta, un lápiz, un director, la maestra. It would be la maestra. There's two ways you can notice. ¿Quién okay, is who, so we know it's a person, so it's not A or B. And we know that it's D because a director would be over the entire school, but the teacher would be over the class. Okay. So D was the answer to that one. Okay, en la clase de matemáticas, it says you use, notice they threw in some English here. You use something para contar. So in math class, you use something to count. Contar means to count. Is it la calculadora, un crayón, una maestra, o el director? It's A, right, la calculadora, la calculadora. Here's one, blank to disciplina en la escuela. Someone disciplines you at school. El libro, el cuaderno, el director. B, right, the director would discipline you. All right, let's, you know what, let's go to the top. ¿A dónde vas si necesitas el mapa? Where do you go if you need a map? Now, you can just write the name of the class or a place in the school where you would go to get a map. Where would you go to find a map in school? You gotta type it out. If you would rather say it out, then raise your hand. Okay, Valeria, how do we say social studies in Spanish? You can write out social studies in Spanish. De estudios sociales. All right, here's the next one. ¿Qué material necesitas para contar? Okay, material is not material like you're sewing something. It's like an item. So what item do you need to count? Contar is to count. Calculadora, very good, Chloe. Okay. En blank, tienes 7 clases. This is 2 words you need. So where would you have 7 classes? La escuela, very good. Okay. Blank tiene 30 centímetros. Something has 30 centimeters. And it's 2 words we need. What would have 30 centimeters? La regla, very good. All right, let's look here at the bottom. ¿A dónde vas? Sorry. ¿A dónde vas para usar mi microscopio? Talk today. Microscopio. Sorry. ¿A dónde vas para usar un microscopio? So where do you go to use a microscope? Ciencias, very good. ¿A dónde vas para do exercise? Where would you go to exercise? Where would you go to exercise? Educación física, very good. All right, en la clase de blank, usas figuras geométricas. So in what class would you use geometrical figures? Remember, it's a cognate. Very good, Chloe. Oops. Geometría, sorry. Very good. Well, we don't use that in algebra, but in geometría, we would use geometric figures. All right, here we go. Tu usas blank para tomar apuntes. 2 words. 2 words. What do you use to take notes? Well, yes, you can use a pencil, but what do you, un lápiz, not una, but it's yes, called el cuaderno. And remember that cuaderno has a C-U-A, P-E-R-N-O, el cuaderno. Okay, very good. All right, we're gonna go over some grammar here. It won't take us very long. But we're gonna go over definite articles first. Definite articles are words we use for the, but if it was plural, it would be those, like the book, those books, that sort of thing. The house, those houses. Okay. So singular would be el for masculine or la for feminine. Plural would be los for masculine or las for feminine. So like el, we don't add an S, it becomes a whole new word, los. El or los, la or las. You may want to take a screenshot of this. Okay. Any questions? Are you some examples? Okay. So we've got in. Okay. All right. El cuaderno de composición negro. The notebook, or it's a black notebook. So the black notebook, the composition, the black composition book. Okay. Notice negro goes at the end of the sentence. You could say el cuaderno negro de composición. You could do that. Now we've got more than one. Los cuadernos de composiciones grandes. Okay, the big composition books. You could say los cuadernos grandes de composición. You can do that. And so long as you know that the describing, the adjective comes after the noun. Cuaderno is the noun. The cuadernos is also the noun. All right, here's some feminine definite articles. La mochila azul, the blue backpack. Or las mochilas negras, the black backpacks. Notice that azul comes after mochila because mochila is the noun and azul is the adjective. Here, mochilas is the noun, negras is the adjective. You guys have any questions about the definite articles and where to put your adjectives that describe them? Okay. Next, we're going to talk about indefinite articles. Remember, definite articles mean the or those. Indefinite articles mean a or some. So singular, masculine would be un, like un libro. Feminine would be una, like una casa. Plural for masculine would be unos, like unos libros, some books. I don't know if she steals my Kleenexes. Okay, sorry about this. She's really aggressive today. Let's try this again. So, un libro, a book, unos libros, some books, una casa, a house, unas casas, some houses. These are, so definite means the, it is the item. Indefinite means an item. And so like, if I could say, for example, the house on the corner, I'm being very specific, right? But if I said a house on the street, I'm not being specific. And so indefinite is being non-specific, definite is being specific. Okay. Any questions on this? Let's go to the next example of indefinite articles. We've got un cuaderno, a notebook, or unos cuadernos, some notebooks. feminine. Una mochila azul, a blue backpack. Unas mochilas negras, some black backpacks. Uh-oh. All right, did it mess on the screen on your end too? I've got it on down here. All right, any questions on indefinite articles? When I was in the classroom, we used to do a fashion show and I would make my students, define what was definite, what was indefinite. Unfortunately, I can't think of a virtual way to do a fashion show. Okay, how to make words plural. Now, this is pretty easy, but a lot of people get hung up on this. So when a word ends in a vowel like A, E, I, O, U, we simply add the letter S to make it plural. So like the word libro ends with a vowel, right? And it becomes libros, just adding an S. Regla ends in a vowel, we just add an S, reglas. Now, if a letter ends with a consonant, which is any letter that's not a vowel, we add the letters ES. So like crayon ends with the letter N, which is a consonant. To make it plural, we add the letters ES, crayones. Notice that when it becomes plural, the accent is no longer there. Now, if a word ends with the letter Z, this is where it gets weird, like lapis ends with the letter Z, okay? We replace the letter Z with the letter CES. So lapis becomes lapises. In this case, the accent remains because the emphasis is on that first letter A. So in Spanish, most of the time our emphasis is the second to last syllable, like crayones. Here, like with crayon, the emphasis is on the last syllable. That's why it has a written accent. So when we add this, the ES becomes crayones. The emphasis automatically falls to the second to last syllable. But lapis doesn't do that. Lapis has to have the accent on the first letter A. It doesn't become lapises, it becomes lapises. Any questions? Okay, I'm gonna practice. So what is missing? Si yo tengo blank calculadora científica para la clase de matemáticas. So what does he need before calculadora? Does he need el, los, la, or la, sorry. Lois is la, right. La calculadora. All right. Mi papá y mi mamá have to buy blank calculadoras for me also. Is it las, unas, unos, or los? More choices here. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Unas, because he's saying my parents have to buy me some calculators. He doesn't say they have to buy me the calculators, the absolute business theater specific, the Ritz-Carlton of the calculators. They're just unas calculadoras. Some. All right. Tengo blank libro de Shakespeare para la clase de inglés. La clase de inglés es mi clase favorita. Is it unos, los, un, or el? But Arga, it's because I have a book, a Shakespeare book. I don't have the Shakespeare book because you go to the bookstore, for example, you're going to see there's a ton of different publishers that publish Shakespeare books. So it'd be un libro de Shakespeare. Okay, let's put that. Yo tengo unos lápiz y blanco bolígrafos para escribir en el cuaderno. Is it un, el, unos, la, or las? It would be unos bolígrafos, because they started out with some pencils and some pens. All right, a little bit more here about definite and indefinite articles. Okay, so we're talking about masculine and feminine, okay, singular, el or la, plural, los or las. We've got the example of el cuaderno or la calculadora, these are meaning the. And indefinite, we've got un or una for singular, unos or unas for plural. So un cuaderno, a notebook, una calculadora, a calculator. Okay, if the noun is a masculine singular noun, then the article, definite or indefinite, has to be singular and masculine. So examples. El cuaderno becomes los cuadernos, from singular to plural. La regla becomes las reglas, from singular to plural. Un cuaderno becomes unos cuadernos. Una regla becomes unas reglas. So you notice that the first and second word both become plural if they go from singular to plural. Any questions on that? And that's a lot of new information. Okay, and we talked about changing things, making words plural. Add an S if it's a vowel, add ES if it's a consonant, but if it's the letter Z, add CES. Change, take out the Z, make it CES. And so we've got some examples here. The teacher has a black calculator, la maestra tiene la calculadora negra. The teacher has a calculator, indefinite, la maestra tiene una calculadora. All right, so now we're going to learn culture. Remember, I said we were going to learn about schools in Spanish-speaking countries. You're going to want to pay attention to this because, like I said, some of this is going to end up on your DVA when you get to 2.6. Okay, so in Costa Rica, they've got 4 levels of education. They have Educación Inicial, which is ages 3 to 5, Preescolar, which is ages 6 to 10. Educación General Básica, 11 to 15. And then Educación Diversificada, 16 to 18. It's called Diversificada because when you get to the age of 16, you're basically choosing to go in a certain area. It's almost like a pre-college major. And sometimes it's a technical. So it says education in Costa Rica is free, like it is in the US. Okay. And then high school, as I said, La Educación Diversificada. Just like in other Spanish-speaking countries, the La Educación Técnica, technical education, gives you a career before you decide if you need or want to go to La Universidad. So let's say you decide to do a technical degree while you're in high school. Well, when you get out, you've got a job. If you, but if you want to go to university, that's an extra cost. That's usually not free. And that's for things like becoming a doctor, whatever, or lawyer. Okay, in Honduras, we have 4 levels of education. We've got the pre-básica, which is ages, let's do it this side, guys. Right. Ages 3 to 5. Educación básica is ages 6 to 14. But it says, pero cuando tienes 12 años, you can decide if you want una educación regular or una educación técnica. So when you're 12 in Honduras, that's when you decide if you're going to be going the university route or a technical route. Educación media is ages 15 to 17. And then we've got educación superior, which is 18 to 22. And this is where students can go to the university or go to work. The school year in Honduras starts in February and ends in November. And so it's a little different. You know, we start in August and go through June, but they have a much shorter year, February through November. So that's it. It's what, 8 months. Okay. Next country is Nicaragua. They have only 3 levels of education. We have preescolar, which is 3 to 6, primaria, ages 7 to 12, and secundaria, ages 13 to 18. The ages of students in each level varies according to the government of Nicaragua. Only 53% of the students go to school. So this is, here in the United States, I'd say we have at least 100% of kids going to school, whether it's homeschool or online school or in person. We hopefully don't have too many students falling through the cracks, but in Nicaragua, only 53% actually get an education. So that's not so good. Okay, in the United States, we also have 3 levels of education. So in the difference here, in the United States, technical education is not offered in most schools like it is in Spanish-speaking countries. In order to pursue a career, students in the US must get a college degree from any university. So do you think that we should have more technical programs versus university? Do you think that would be helpful or not? I'll argue that's been Honduras. Very good. Okay. No ideas, guys? Should we have more technical education programs in the United States? You can just chat in the chat box. Okay, so the end of this is a quiz. And things to go over in the quiz. We've learned about the different types of classes and some school supplies that you would have in the classes, okay, some vocab. We learned about definite and indefinite articles and how to make a word plural, okay. We've learned about some differences in the school systems between free countries and versus the United States. And of course, we'll be learning more about that before you get to 2.6. Do you guys have any questions about this? Okay. Next week, we're going to have something different than this for collaboration. But for today, if you have not yet done the collaboration, you're going to open that up. You're going to say that you attended the live lesson for 2.00 through 2.01. Tell me, what did you enjoy about working with others in this lesson and what did you learn? Next week, we're going to do a special little cultural lesson along with our next series of lessons. It'll be about Day of the Dead. And if you would like to attend, please do so. It will be fun. And like I said, our collaboration will be very different than this, what we've got here. I'm going to take a picture of my participant group here. And hopefully I don't miss anybody. If you guys have questions, you can unmute too, or you can type your question in the chat box. So, okay. All right. If you guys don't have questions, you can just exit, and I will see you next week.
Adios, amigos and amigas. But most importantly, Rosella. Bye.
Wow! Bye, Annika.
What time is it?
Audacity.
It's 10:43.
What time is it?
Bye.
It is 10:43.
All right. Do any of you have any questions that are still here?
Nope. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good Friday. Good week. I meant a good weekend. You were okay. Anyway, bye.
All right, bye-bye.